One of the ways to understand the structure of my class is to think of it as if you're taking two political science courses, right? One of the political science courses you're taking is being taught by me. That's me on the left there, the photograph of me. On the right-hand side is the textbook, or the current edition of the textbook. So let's talk about the class that I'm teaching, and then we'll talk about the class that the authors are teaching. In terms of the class that I'm teaching, you have a number of things that you need to do. First, you need to watch the lecture videos. There's no way around this. Students who try and complete my class without watching the lecture videos invariably get bad grades. There's just no way to do it. Now, I'm a slow talker sometimes, so you may just want to speed up the videos, but either way, you've got to watch the lecture videos. Now, along with the lecture videos, I provide a comprehensive set of lecture notes. And so you can use those lecture notes as you are watching the lecture videos, and I leave spaces for you to fill in information. When I grade your exams, I'm not so much interested in whether you can copy and paste the information on the lecture notes into your essays that you're going to be writing. I'm interested in whether you understood the blank spots that you're going to fill in as you're listening to the lecture videos. Additionally, along with the lecture videos and the lecture notes, I also provide a comprehensive study guide. The study guide includes a number of questions, and they also include a rubric for what you need to do to get full points on an essay question. And so all of the essay questions on the exams, both exam 1 and exam 2, will be taken directly from the study guide. Now, sometimes there might be a slight change in the wording, but basically the questions on the exams will be similar or identical to the questions on the study guide. One of the other things that you have to do in relation to the class that I'm teaching is the discussion boards. You have to post discussion boards after you watch every set of lecture videos. So the first set of lecture videos is titled Assessing Democracy. After you've watched all of Assessing Democracy, then what you'll do is you'll go to the discussion board and complete it, and the instructions are on the discussion board. That's it for preparing for the class that I'm teaching. As far as the class that the authors of your book are teaching, you're going to be dealing, each chapter that I assign has a set of reading questions. 25 questions derived directly from the chapters that you're going to be reading. Now, you don't want to answer those questions based on my lectures. Those questions are coming from the authors. They wrote the questions actually, right? And so you're going to want to answer those questions based on the reading questions based on what you've read in the textbook. Additionally, after each chapter, there is a quiz. Now, the reading questions that I provide, there are 25 reading questions for every chapter. When you take the quiz, you'll click on the quiz, and Canvas will randomly select 10 of the 25 questions. Now, as soon as you click on it, the quiz starts and you have 20 minutes to complete the quiz. But you really shouldn't need that much time. When you're reading the chapter, if you have the textbook, if you have the reading questions right with you, what you can do is as you answer the questions, as you read the sections, you can answer the questions as you go along. For the most part, the questions are in order. So as you're reading it, you'll be able to answer each of the questions. There may be some that are out of order just a little bit. After you're done answering all the reading questions, then you're ready to take the quiz. You can take the quiz 2 times. And this is important because Canvas will only record the highest score. So let's say you take the quiz. There are 10 questions and you get 10 out of 10. Should you take the quiz a second time? Definitely, because Canvas is going to randomly select 10 more questions, and you probably won't get the exact same questions. I say the odds of you getting the exact same questions is astronomically low. But by taking it a second time, you'll be able to confirm the answers that you've already got from when you went through the readings. Now, if you still have questions about the reading questions, if you're not sure, there are instructions for what you can do on the reading questions discussion board. When it comes to exam time, again, you're going to be responding to the two different classes that you're taking. There will be essay questions, 2 50-point essay questions and 3 20-point essay questions. You're going to want to answer those questions based entirely on the class that I'm teaching, my lecture videos. There will also be 20 multiple choice questions. Those multiple choice questions are going to be randomly selected from all of the reading questions that you've been assigned for the first or the second exam. So if you have your reading questions with you when you take exam 1 or exam 2, that might be a good idea. There are other strategies you can use that we'll discuss later on. But also on the essay questions, and this is really important, as I said, the essay questions are going to be taken from the study guide. Not always identical, but really close. And so if you've written out answers to the study guide questions ahead of time, when it comes time for the exam and you click on the exam, to start taking it, and you get an essay question and you've already written out a very thoughtful and comprehensive answer to that question. Let's say that there's a question about different kinds of democracies, and you've already written out an answer to that question because you listened to the lecture videos, you looked at the lecture notes, you filled in all the details, you made sure that the rubric, all the things you needed to do to get full points, you made sure everything is in there. When it comes time to take the exam, you can just copy your answer from your study guide and paste it into the exam. Now remember, you can't plagiarize other people's work, but if you've written out the answer to the essay question on the study guide by yourself, it's not plagiarizing if you're copying your own work. It's your work. If you fill out the study guide ahead of time, you have good, thoughtful answers to the questions on the study guide, clearly written and responsive to the rubric. And you've completed the reading questions and you have those by your side. You have 2 hours to complete the exams, each of the exams. But if you've done all that ahead of time, you're not going to need 2 hours. It's going to go way faster than that. On the other hand, if you're answering the essay questions for the first time in the quiz, in the exam, it's going to be much harder and you're going to struggle because the questions are not complicated, but they do involve some thought. If the first time you're writing an answer to an essay question is in the exam, you're going to have more trouble. It's just more difficult. So my suggestion is that although it involves a lot of work, and especially in a winter session or a summer session involves a ton of work, it's a good idea to do it. You've taken on this incredible challenge of taking a 16-week class and finishing it in essentially 4 weeks. It's going to be hard. It's going to be time consuming. But you're going to learn a lot. But if you do that ahead of time, if you do that work ahead of time and just realize I'm going to be seeing a lot of Phil, but I'm going to do well in this class because he gives all the information I need for me to do well, I think you will do well. Now, if you have any questions about this, you can always email me, or you can pose questions about any kind of administrative questions about how the class is functioning on the administrative questions discussion board. And with that, good luck.